Dear students, welcome to online class. Today we shall learn about combination of errors. What do we mean by combination of errors? When the measured quantities, when the result of the measurement are combined together either by addition or multiplication to get the final result, then errors are also combined. This is called combination of errors. Now, there are two different rules. First rule, for the error of a sum or difference, when we get the final result by adding or subtracting, when we get the final result by the sum or difference of individual measured quantities, then what is the error? The error in the final result is the absolute error. What is the error? The error in the final result is absolute error. See here, these are the two measured quantities of A and B. A is the true value and delta is the absolute error. In this case, B is the true value and delta B is the absolute error. So, when we take them to get the final result Z by addition, then the maximum possible error in Z is the absolute error in the final result delta Z, and delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Similarly, if we subtract the measured quantities to get the final result, then also the error in the final result is absolute error, and this is equal to delta A plus delta B. See here, there is no minus sign, because in the final result, when we obtain the result either by addition or subtraction, the error cannot be cancel each other, error cannot be subtracted. The error in the result will be obtained by addition of the absolute errors of the individual measurement. Okay. For example, if we take the example of two lengths, first length is given 30 plus minus 0.1 centimeter and second length is 25 plus minus 0.1 centimeter. In this case, the true value is 30, that is A mean, and 0.1 is the absolute error, that is called delta A mean. In this case, true value is 25 centimeter and absolute error is 0.1 centimeter. So, when we get the final result by adding them, that is the true value will be, the result will be 30 plus 25 is equal to 55, and error in the final result is obtained just by adding the absolute errors of individual quantities. That means 0.1 plus 0.1 is equal to 0.2. Similarly, do not have any confusion when the result is obtained by subtraction. See here, when the two lengths are subtracted, then the final result is 30 minus 25 is equal to 5. Then, but the error is, absolute error in the final result is obtained by adding the absolute errors of the individual quantities. That means, in subtraction also the errors are added to give the final error in the final result. Okay. Now, there is another rule for error of a product or a quotient. See here, if A plus minus delta A and B plus minus delta B are the measured values of A and B, and if we want to get the result either by multiplying the measured quantities or dividing them, then what will happen? There will be error in the final result. That means there will be error in the product. What will be the product? The maximum relative error in product will be, क्या होगा? The maximum relative error in product delta Z by Z is equal to the relative error of individual quantities delta A by A and delta B and by B are added together to give the relative error in the final result. Okay. So, what is the rule? When we get the final result either by product or quotient, that means by multiplying or dividing the individual measured quantities, then the error comes in the final result is relative error, and the relative error in the final result is obtained by adding the relative errors of individual quantities or individual multipliers. See, A and B in this case multiplied by A is multiplied by B, we get Z, and in this case A is divided by B to get Z. In both the cases, either multiplication or division, the error in the final result will be relative error, and the relative error will be equal to the sum of relative errors of the individual multipliers, that is the relative error of A and relative error of B added together to give the relative error in the final result. For example, see this example. Consider the length of a rectangular area is 10 centimeter, the error is given 0.5, and breadth is 5 centimeter and error is given 0.5. Now, if we want to find the area of the rectangle, then we get 10 into 5, that means 50 centimeter square. But what will be the error in the final result? The error in the final result, that means in area, will be the relative error, and the relative error in area will be delta A by A is equal to sum of the relative errors of individual multipliers. Here individual multipliers are length and breadth. So, adding the relative errors of length and breadth, we get the relative error of area, and this is the procedure. In this case, delta L mean absolute error, L means mean value or true value of the measured quantity. So, in length, delta A mean is 0.5, put here, and A mean is equal to 10, put here. So, this is the relative error of length, and in this case delta A mean is equal to 0.5 and A mean is equal to 5, that means true value is 5. So, divide delta A mean, that is mean absolute error, and this is true value. So, divide mean absolute error by true value, you will get the relative error of breadth. So, adding these two relative errors, we shall get the relative error of area. Okay, thank you.